Good morning, Math 3. This is lesson 124. We are going to be dividing a 2-digit number by a 1-digit number. This is how most people do division if they cannot use mental computation. So this is how your parents, your grandparents, and all the other people who love you do division. So I'm going to show off by showing you school money. So, you can see that I have $68. I have 6 tens, 8 ones, and I would like to share this money with Ryan and Ian and Bronson and Quinn, so the boys. We're going to see how much money each of the boys would receive. This is too difficult for me to use mental computation to do it, so let's see how we would do this. So remember, I had the $68. I'm going to label these so that you know what I'm talking about and it's a little easier for you to follow along. So I have 6 tens and I have the 8 ones. Now I need a division box. So mine's really big this time. Usually when I write it, it's not going to look this big. And then remember, it was the 4 boys that we're going to share. So let's think about it. How many ones would each of the, or how many tens would each of the boys receive? So there's 4 boys and there are 6 tens. That means that they can each have 1 10. So I'm going to write the 1 up here above the tens to show that they'll each receive 1. Now I need to multiply. 1 times 4 equals 4. That's to show how many of the tens we've used. I'm going to write the 4 right underneath the 6. And now I need to subtract. 6 minus 4 is 2. That means I have 2 tens left. Now I'm going to bring down the ones. So now I have 2 tens and 8 ones, or $28. I'm going to see how many tens, or not how many tens, let me change the way I'm going to say this. We'll pretend that this is 28 ones, so we'll see how many ones the boys will receive. So, the way that I think about it in my head is I think, well, how many 4s, or how many groups of 4, or how many times will 4 go into 28 to give me a number? So 4 times what number will equal 28? 4 times 7. And remember, we multiply again. 7 times 4 equals 28. We're going to subtract that. We have nothing left over. So that means that each boy will receive $17. Let's make sure that we did it properly. How do we check a division problem? We multiply. Which 2 numbers are we going to multiply together? We are going to multiply $17 times the $4. 4 times 7 is 28. Remember, we put the 2 up top. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 2 is 6. We have to make sure that this and this equal each other. That's how we know that we did it correctly. I'm going to show you one more time, and then we're going to work on a few together. So let me get this erased. All right, this time I have $72 I'm going to label this one again because this is all new. And there's my division box. This time, the girls, Dolores, Taylor, and Bella, are going to share the $72. Let's find out how much money they will each receive. So think about it this way. I have 7 tens. How many tens could each of the girls have? They could each get 2. Remember, now we need to multiply. 2 times 3 is 6. We're writing it right underneath the tens so that we can subtract. Remember, we wrote the 2 right above the tens so that we know how many tens they're going to receive. Okay, now we need to subtract. 7 minus 6 is 1. Now we're going to bring the ones down. So now we have $12. And let's think of this as 12 ones. So how many of the 12 ones would each of the girls be able to have? Remember, I sometimes think of 3 times what number will equal 12 or get me as close to 12 as I can get. It's 4. Remember, I'm writing the 4 right above the ones to show how many ones they'll receive. Then I need to multiply. 4 times 3 is 12. And then I'm going to subtract. 12 minus 12 is 0. So each of the girls would receive $24 of the $72. Now it's time for you to get out your scrap paper and pencil. I'm going to erase this and we'll get some practice going for all of us. All right, here's our first problem. Write it with me. We're doing $85. Oh, I should spread this out so that you can label each one. So above the 8, write tens, and above the 5, write ones. Do a big division box, and then we're going to divide by 5. So we're going to see how much of the $85 each of the 5 people would receive. So how many tens would each person receive? 1. Remember, 1 times 5 equals 5. We're writing it right below the 10 so that we subtract it in the right spot. Remember, now we're going to subtract. 8 minus 5 is 3. Bring down the ones. Now we have $35. How much of the $35 is each person going to receive? You can think about it as 5 times what number will equal 35? That'll be 7. 7 times 5 equals 35. Make sure you're lining up your digits so that you can subtract properly. And then this is 0. I forgot in my last example to check by multiplying, so let's do that now. I'm going to put my dollar sign in here. Remember, 17, we're multiplying these two numbers times 5. 5 times 7 is 35. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 3 is 8. These two need to equal. All right. The next example, I'm going to leave off the tens and ones because when your parents do their their division problems, they do not write tens and ones. They know that The number next to the dollar sign is the tens, and then this is the ones. So let's try one that way. I'm going to erase this. You get ready to write the numbers. Okay, $57. I'm putting my digits a little closer together. Here's my division box, divided by 3. So you can think of this as maybe it's you, your brother, and your sister. You have to share the money. Maybe it's just between you and mom and dad that you're sharing the money. You come up with a way that makes it fun for you. So, of the 5 tens, how many tens would each person receive? They would get 1. 1 times 3 is 3. I hope you're remembering to write your 1 right above the tens, and you wrote the 3 right below the 5. Hey, remember, 5 minus 3 is 2. Bring down the 7. Now we're dealing with $27. How much of the $27 will each person receive? In my brain, I'm saying 3 times what number equals 27? 3 times 9. Remember, I'm writing it right above the 7 so that I know that they're going to get 9 ones. 9 times 3 is 27. I have to subtract, and that's going to equal 0. Means that each person is going to get $19. Okay, we have one more to practice, because practice makes progress. Let's do $96 divided by 4. Write it with me. There's the 4. Notice that I put my numbers a little closer together, but I'm still leaving them a bit apart, just so that you have some space and don't get your digits confused when you're subtracting. How many of those tens would each person receive? It has to be more than 1, doesn't it? They can each have 2 this time. 2 times 4 is 8. Line them up and subtract. 9 minus 8 is 1. Okay, the 1's come down. How many of the $16 will each person receive? 4 times what number will equal 16? 4. 4 times 4 equals 16. And then this is 0. We're going to check by adding. I need to put my dollar sign in. We're not going to check by adding. We need to check by multiplying. I've gotten so used to us doing adding and subtracting that I'm forgetting all about multiplying and dividing. Okay, $24 times 4. Make sure you're lining up your ones, otherwise you're going to get a wrong answer. 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9. I hope that's the answer you got. Thank you for joining me for math today. I will see you next time. Have a great day.